Hello, and welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
No, I'm Matt.
Today we're going to be drinking Kentucky Owl's new release. It is the Kentucky Owl Dry State.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about this special little thing in our glass here?
All right. We have this sample from our friend Ben Stahl. Thank you for tracking this down. You are awesome for this Kentucky Owl Dry State. And also, it came with this cool little owl. Isn't that cute? Look at that little thing. I have no idea if it actually came with it or not, but Ben sent it in the box. And I thought that was cool. So anyway, this is Kentucky Owl Dry State. 115 proof is for the 100th anniversary of the repeal of prohibition. The repeal, but it started then and started, I guess, 1920? 21 is when it was repealed, but whatever. So anyway, for the 100 years of dry state, which sucks. Anyway, so this is all from 12 to 17 years old, and there's only 2,000 bottles ever made, and Dixon Dedman signed all of them. And there's a cat. And she wants to try the whiskey too.
She thinks there's bacon.
Bacon.
She knows this.
So the other crazy part is this whiskey is MSRP is $1,000. There's no way in God's green earth this is possible. You're telling me it's better than BTAC, all the Pappies, every other whiskey you can think of, like 30 to 40 year scotches? Highly unlikely. We're gonna find out here in a few minutes. But I cannot fathom this is going to be remotely possible. And I think we've had the mass majority of those, so I'm going to go with it's just a bourbon. It's bourbon, not scotch, bourbon. I mean, you get really good bourbon at, $100, but 10 times that, I beg to differ. But we're going to find out. So let's see what Dixon Dedman did here. Like I said, they don't give you any more information than that because, they're all secretive. They can't tell you who the hell they did anything with, whatever. He's a nice guy, but, thanks, Stoley. I'm sure this is your ridiculous price for this. I know they're doing a charity auction starting at $19.20 as the charity price for auction, which is, twice this price. Even smarter. All right, let's see what we got.
I mean, besides the whole, thing about prohibition and all of that, that's cool and all, but is it $1,000 cool? I mean,
it doesn't smell it.
It doesn't smell it. It smells good. It smells good.
You know what it smells like, though?
It smells like $100 whiskey.
Yeah, it smells like a high-proof $100 whiskey.
Yeah, it's it gets they got a lot of apple, black cherry, vanilla, oak, honey.
Yeah, it's nice and fruity.
It's super fruity. Blackberries. Ooh. You ever had that rubber cement that you put on the back of pictures, when we were kids, like my mom used? Mm-hmm. Get that rubber cement smell. That's bizarre. I've never gotten that in a whiskey. That's bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the fruit notes. I'm getting a lot of cherry and apple,
and you got your brown sugar,
vanilla, caramel.
Cinnamon, caramel.
These are the things that I would always classify as typical bourbon notes.
The proof is nice on the nose.
It is.
It's not overpowering. It seems like just right.
Right. It
doesn't have that acetone high proof.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It smells nice. It's got worn leather, little raspberries, peaches, Easter lily, milk chocolate, almond butter.
I get a little butterscotch in there.
Yeah, a little
toffee.
So allspice.
Does it smell?
But there's nothing super. I think there's more fruitiness that you get in most typical bourbons. But I mean, other than that, it smells like bourbon.
It is fruitier. Usually, a bourbon will go one way or the other to the apple or the cherry side, mm-hmm. And this has a little bit of both, and some of the extra, like you said, peach and.
But does it smell like $1,000?
No. I mean,
with Dixon, we love your products, but
yeah,
it's not your fault. I don't blame you at all, but I do blame your parent company of Stoley that this is insane.
Okay, let's
taste $1,000 bourbon.
First time doing that, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what it tastes like? $100 bourbon. I mean, the proof is great. It's still growing.
Mm-hmm. It's still lingering.
I get those typical bourbon notes on the palate right at the beginning. Your cinnamon, your brown sugar, your vanilla, apple, cherry, chocolate.
A little bit more nutmeg shows up.
A little bit nuttier.
Yeah, nuttier, and then a little bit more of a nutmeg, almost cinnamon, true cinnamon spice. Kind of shows
like a
up
cinnamon
mid-palate.
stick,
Mm-hmm.
the real deal,
Yeah.
not that processed spice stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the proof.
I do too.
It tastes really good. Not $1,000 good in my opinion.
No, but it is like I said, vanilla and brown sugar with honey, ginger, but it is very oaky.
It is.
It's
Mhm.
oaky and licking in the side of a barn, like
Did it-
worn leather and apples. It leaves like this really thick like leather thing on my tongue, like I want to scrape it off.
Did it have a true age statement to it, or
It just says 12 to 17. It didn't put it on the bottle, but that's what they said it is.
So they're blending 12 to 17-year-old barrels essentially.
Yeah, so I guess if it did have one, it'd be 12 years old, because obviously it has to be the young one in there.
Mhm.
I mean, it is known in bourbon, the longer it sits in the barrel, the more oak it tends to bring out.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It leaves almost like a film on your tongue.
Really does.
And I mean, it's not horrible as far as that film goes, but it's still there.
Mhm.
And with $1,000 bourbon, ow, you little bitch. She bit my elbow.
She did.
Oh,
What happened?
She's laying on his lap,
and she just bit you.
bit my elbow.
I think it was on camera.
Hey,
Yeah, that
It
was.
is again.
you
I
little
just
hooker.
saw that.
You little hooker.
Dang, that was mean.
And now she wants to show off her butt. All
I was
right.
like, see what I think? I'll show you my ass.
This is what I think about you.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
But anyway, but for $1,000 bourbon, I don't necessarily want something like that lingering on my tongue.
No, like it's still there.
It kind of at the back of my tongue.
I'm not a. I mean, it's good, but it's not by far the most expensive bourbon I ever tasted in my life. That's not even close. I think the most expensive prior to this was Pappy 23, and this is $700 more.
To be honest with you, it's not even to me. It's not even a really well-rounded bourbon. It's kind of spiky, and mid palate. It like jumps at you with the alcohol burn. And then, I mean, it's not as rounded as I would like it to be.
No, I've
it could be
tasted
that oak too.
I've tasted some single barrels at 120 that drink a lot smoother than this does.
And are more rounded.
And are more rounded, more cohesive, and that type of thing. I was also going to say this to me on the palate feels like a Garrison Brothers.
Yeah.
It has that kind of journey. I'm not saying those flavors.
Yeah.
But just the way it transitions, and then that oak, and then that film.
Yeah, it really does. I didn't think about that.
Is kind of reminding me of some single barrel Garrisons that I've tried.
I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm also not gonna ever pay even close to over $100 for this.
No, absolutely not. So this is batch 9 of the Kentucky Owl, which is 127.9 proof. So
and how much was that, Matt?
I think it was like $279 compared to that one. So that's $800 more.
But still, $279 is
what's MSRP for this one?
Like $280.
Yeah, that's MSRP.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
So
this one smells richer.
It does smell a lot richer. Yeah, and I will say about the other one, it didn't have a coating mouthfeel. I mean, besides that leathery
film,
that's not coating. As far as
now the leather jumps out when you compare them.
Yeah,
big time. As far as the nose goes.
Oh yeah,
it smells way nicer than batch 9.
And again, how old is the batch 9?
It doesn't have an age statement. But,
again, and they wouldn't tell us where they bought the barrels from.
Same thing. We don't know. We know it's a mix of multiple distilleries at that, so we just don't know. They don't really tell you a whole heck of a lot, unfortunately, on it.
Okay.
We know
it's older. It's good. We know that. When we reviewed it, we'll link the review and history and all that at the end of this too.
Mm. Oh, I like that one.
This has a coating mouthfeel. It's rounded. I can get all the flavors all over my mouth, as opposed to the dry state just kind of goes straight back.
Yeah, it's dry.
This I can feel on my cheeks, on my roof of my mouth, on my lips. I can feel it all over the mouth hole. And
I would say dry state is correct.
Huh?
Dry state correct.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it is very like as if you were drinking a dry wine and it's just there. I mean, the batch 9 all day long for me. Like it has similar notes to it as far as the fruits go and your caramel, your toffee, your brown sugar, all of that. But just the overall feel of it in general is 10 times better.
Yeah, agree completely. I would much rather have batch 9 than this. I appreciate that they do this. I mean, I'm sure it was some really awesome barrels they put together, but it doesn't do it for me at all. I mean, I don't know what the point was. I mean, I realize it's limited, but it's not $1,000 good. It's just not. I mean,
no.
We've had some $1,000 stuff. We've had that reps have brought that are scotches that are unbelievably amazing. Yeah. This is not even remotely in that ballpark. It's not even close.
No, because those scotches matter so old that there's a richness and a depth of feel to them that even at 40%, they taste rich and deep and dark and just so fantastic. So here's my question, because this is a $280 bourbon and this is a $1,000 bourbon. The most expensive bourbon we have in house is the most expensive bourbon we've ever purchased, and that's a George T. Stagg from 2019.
$150.
And we paid $150, which is pretty darn close to MSRP. What would you pay for either one of these?
I would actually be okay with paying the $200 with this.
$280?
Yeah. This is actually worth it to me.
Okay.
Not that I'm going to go out and do it, but
if a purchase was going to be made, this one would be in the realm of possibilities.
Right. I'd be happy if I could find it closer to 2, but the way things are,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
The dry state, if I had tasted this before going and purchasing a bottle, I wouldn't pay more than $100 for it.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I would be.
I can find so many more overall good bourbons for $100 than I feel about this one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that there's probably some sub 100s that are better.
I think I have a few in here.
Yeah, I know we do.
I am. I appreciate the novelty of it. I don't really know what the heck they're thinking. I think it's insane.
That's the price.
I don't appreciate the novelty of it.
That's the price. It's the novelty of it.
I mean,
the whole prohibition aspect around it and the name around it.
I mean, is it because it's 100 years after prohibition and we're gonna make it 10 times the price? I don't know.
So if a Scotch had brought out 100-year-old Scotch for a 100-year, celebration, then we could talk about astronomical prices. Or if there was some Kentucky bourbon that was actually laid down 100 years ago that we're released now.
Gordon MacPhail barrel that's supposed to be 100 years old is going to be released.
Yeah, and see that to me, whether it's undrinkable or not, that to me makes more sense to pay an astronomical price for.
Agreed.
This just seems like
this wasn't in a barrel for 100 years.
This seems
wasn't,
just trying to get something out of a bourbon boom.
They're taking the name and making it seem like it's a whole big old more deal than what it really is.
Right. This is I feel like this is being sold to people that buy bottles of Blanton's at $500 because they found them at a shop and do this. This is who this is marketed to. I feel like
just regular Blanton's. It's not even like the gold or the it's not any of the specialty bottles.
People are paying 10 times over MSRP or close to it. Just because they found it randomly at a store.
I found it.
So I feel like this is who that's marketed to. I don't know.
Or just the collectors in general.
Yeah.
The ones that want to say, "Oh, I have this bottle," and probably will never.
I mean, that's what is MSRP. I mean, what's this thing going to go on secondary? I have no idea, but I'm sure it's going to go crazy because it's a collector's edition.
Right.
And people are not going to open it. It's going to sit on the mantle. It comes in a really awesome, beautiful box. It's a beautiful bottle.
And you know what? But honestly, if I'm going to pay $1,000 for a fucking bourbon, if I'm going to say, I'm getting my feelings here, guys. If I'm going to pay $1,000 for a bourbon, I'm going to drink it. Yeah. Because that's money down the drain sitting on your shelf.
It's a valid
I'm going to drink it because that's what it's meant to be.
I'd rather it be run through me and go down the drain than just sit on my shelf.
Sit on my shelf and, at least get some use off it. if it turns out that it's crap, drink it anyway. It's $1,000.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna tell you right now.
Or save it and share it with the friends as they come
make
over,
it a specialty
thing.
But open the bottle.
Yeah.
Enjoy the bottle. It's $1,000. But I'll tell you right now.
Don't expect a lot out of it.
Don't expect a lot out of it. And I would not recommend spending $1,000 on this bourbon.
Thirded.
Sorry. This is
batch 9.
$280.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Ben, for sending this to us. We really appreciate it. Very awesome. Thanks for the cool little owl. He's really cool.
I want the owl. It looks like Hedwig.
I have no idea, but sure.
It looks like Hedwig. Yes, thank you, Ben. I'm sorry that, like Will said, we shat on it, but
I'm toasting out with batch 9.
I'm toasting out with batch 9. I'm not going to waste this. I will drink it, but
I'm going to pour it back in the bottle and give it to some lucky soul.
I'm going to say this. I'm probably going to mix the rest of my batch 9 with it.
Damn.
And on that note,
don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. And until next time,
keep on crusading for better whiskey in your glass.
And don't spend $1,000 on bourbon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't spend $1,000 on bourbon.
Fucking stupid.
They don't spend $1,000 on one bottle of bourbon.
For real.
You can buy several bottles of bourbon for $1,000.
And if you want to do that, we encourage it.
Encourage it.
Looks like a Shakespearean cat.
Or a freaking dinosaur.
Lost
Yes, exactly.